It's been a while. It's been a while. Nah. As you know, it's the wintertime, and I'm not going out to the sales that are happening each weekend. That meant there were a few I did go out to just because they seemed notable, especially lately when the weather here has been warming up. East Coast has been getting the blizzards, but out here in the West it's all sun. So probably drought in the summer I'm expecting. But you know, you don't find as much just because of that, or you don't get as much just because you're mainly relying on thrift stores, and their prices are really all over the place. And but you know, I found some good deals. Found some good deals in December. I need some water. Hold on a second. Where's that? This is good planning. Especially when I need to get through a lot of stuff. This is what everyone's waiting for. Okay. Throat was just a little hoarse. Was at a thrift store and about to leave. I could see across from the other side of the store. They just put this guy up on the shelf. Freaking huge. $3. And yeah, apparently this guy's worth like $70 or something. Crash Bandicoot, for all of you who are not so familiar, but you know, he doesn't have the kind of interest that he used to in the old PlayStation 1 days. But he's pretty cool. I have plenty of plush toys already. You can sit with us. Give me a thumbs up. Hey. Yeah, whatever. Same thrift store. Different. No, same day. No. This was a different day. $2. Brand new. In package. All pretty much the best Namco arcade games. Dig Dug, Pac-Man, Galaxy, Rally X. I have this already, but brand new. I was gonna pass stuff for $2. So you know, one thing you always hear about is like what happens, or you might think about is like what happens to all the games that nobody buys at the stores. Where do they go? I mean, do they donate them? Do they sell them back to the manufacturer? I'm thinking, I've heard stories about, you know, liquidation of stores, etc., and that stock gets shipped somewhere, somebody buys it and then sells it at you know, higher cost, but that still exist, that have pretty much brand new on the shelf old stock, or they have liquidated stock from stores that are shut down. And I managed to find one of those out in the Midwest. I'm not going to reveal it because, well, I've gotten some good deals and some sealed stuff as well that can be quite pricey. So yeah, and I bought some things just so that I could fund the stuff I really wanted. So I'll just start off with all the sealed stuff, and I'm not going to keep any of this, but yeah, all pretty damn good condition. Chuck Rock 2 Sega CD. I'm going to keep I know how much this stuff is worth, so I'm going to keep it very nice and tidy over here. Tin Star for Super NES. Game that I never played, but I think it's like a platformer, but it also like a gun game as well. Anyways, brand new, sealed, everything sealed here. Vortex. It's one of those Super FX games. This one even has the hang tab on there. And Baseball 2000, which I remember this game got a shit ton of hype, and I remember playing it at Funkoland on a Game Boy and not being so impressed. And you know, for the Game Boy, even though it was like what four colors, they still did a you know, kind of 3D-ish engine. It's all flat shaded polygons, so it's not that impressive to begin with, but nonetheless, that stuff is expensive, and I'm going to try to sell it because, I mean, I had gotten a bunch of other stuff, and some of the stuff I planned on selling, but after playing it, I'm getting more and more attached, so that was kind of a bad idea. One of those games was Contra Hardcore. You know, I'm always looking for games online, even though I figure I might find them out in the wild, but if there's a good price online, I'm not going to pass it up. And you know, Contra Hardcore, I figure I'm going to find this game eventually out in the wild, but you know, and I wouldn't have bought it without its case and manual, but when you buy stuff from these guys, all you know whether it's used or new. And and like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Contra, so I don't even know why I bought it, but it was like $10, so I was just like, whatever. This game, however, I'm really not sure why it's not more expensive, because it's freaking awesome, and that's Cybernator for the Super Nintendo. Pilot a mech, you have like a shield, you can shoot, stop and shoot at different angles at turrets and other enemies, and you have the jets that make you dash and you know, hover through the air. You feel pretty badass, and there, you know, it's a mix of levels that are like side-scrolling platform levels, but there are also levels where it's kind of like a shmup, and you're flying through like asteroid field. That's the second level. But anyways, that game was pretty awesome. Magic Sword, which, you know, I didn't have to buy it there. It was like, I think $8 or $10, but I figured, you know, I'm buying all these other games and all the stuff is in really good condition, so I'm going to try to go through these faster. Spike McFang, this is one of the games I think I was going to sell, but I played it a little bit and I was just like, I may keep you. Really happy about this one, Pocky and Rocky. Overhead kind of shoot 'em up, but most shoot 'em up scroll automatically and you can't go back. But with this game, you can actually go back through the levels, and which makes it quite unique. And you can even play with there are 2 players. There's a 2-player mode. Normally you have, like, in most games you're a robot or a spaceship, and one guy's red, the other guy's blue or something. But in this game there's a priestess from feudal Japan, I guess, and a goblin in the form of a tanuki, that raccoon-like creature, and Super Mario 3. Anyways, really cool game, and this game was like $20, and I think it's worth like $50, but I definitely want to keep this one. And UN Squadron. Just a damn awesome game. I think you'll notice a trend in all these games. Axelay. You know, it was a game that I saw it for and I thought it might be interesting. It's an okay shooter. It's not my favorite, but Yeah. Let's see. R-Type 3. I'm too much of a fan of the series. I love R-Type Delta. It's probably one of my favorite games. So, okay. So, like I said, you don't know whether or not something, the condition of something is. You just know whether it's used or new. So when they told me, like I asked them, could they just, say if there was anything wrong with them, messed up. You have to actually place an order first before they actually go out and tell you whether or not something looks like it's torn up or whatever. But they're like, oh yeah, we have this game and it has its box and instructions. Everything looks good. I mean, the box has a little rough, and the mail has a little tear on. I was like, holy shit! It has its box and its mail. This game is like $15 as well, I think. But Fire Striker, which is like it's like Breakout, but you can move. You move around a knight around the screen, which scrolls like a pinball field up and down. You can move up and down the play field, and you hit this fireball to break through different obstacles and hit enemies, and you can get different power-ups that power up your blade, and etc., etc. There are bosses. Like I said, it came with its manual, its box. It even had like this poster inside. It has everything for $15. And there's maybe a small scuff there and a small tear there, but yeah, the rest of it's pretty nice and shiny and great condition. Robo-Lest for Sega CD, another shmup, and it's by Compile. And Compile is probably one of the best shmup makers in my opinion, right up there with IRM, and I'm not a big pleat, everything good condition, no cracks. Finally, I have two Nintendo games here, and so the first one is Scat, and I thought the game was actually worth like $60 last I checked. This fucker's going for like $100 now. I was thinking, oh man, this is going to be one of the ones I might sell to help buy everything else. But I cleaned it up, I popped it in, and I was just like, damn it, I like this game a lot, and it really deserves the value because of how rare it is, and because of how good of a game it is. So I thought it was just going to be like a Forgotten Worlds kind of rip-off, and it kind of is. I mean, it's a shmup, first of all, where you have a guy who's on a jetpack, and he has these two floating satellites around him that he can change the position of when he presses a button, and then they fire off in different directions based on which position they're locked, or you can keep them in free motion where they're not locked. But yeah, it's a really, really good game with some freaking awesome sound, like real samples and music, just really good. And it's funny because growing up I recognized Natsume probably for their Harvest Moon series, and it's just funny going back and seeing how I think there were a couple games here that were by Natsume. No, maybe it was just Pocky and Rocky, but basically, yeah, they were published by Natsume. So surprising, but a really good game nonetheless. And this game I was just floored to see for the price, $20, and Metal Storm. And this is like, this and Scat are pretty much my new faves on the NES. I'm just surprised about how good they are, and when I describe it to you, you're probably not going to get the idea how much fun it is to play, but basically it's like a platformer with puzzle-like elements to a level where you have to you can switch gravity, and depending on how you switch gravity, you either stick to the ceiling or the floor. It'll allow you to traverse some obstacle, whether there's a certain floor that you can only pass through by jumping down through, so you have to stick to the ceiling and then get close to that platform and then jump down, because the gravity's reversed. So anyways, a really, really good game, and there's a password system, so, you know, you get to a level and you can continue later. But again, I asked what the condition was, and they told me, like, hey, you know, the box is in decent shape and everything, and the mail, I mean, the box has some nicks on it or whatever, but the mail's alright. But I was like, holy shit, it's a box of mail. And this game I think is like $50 now, but with the box and mail it's like 80. And since I don't have it here, I have my box and my mail and stuff over here. Hold on a second. It has a really good, really sharp condition poster. An awesome game to come with an awesome poster is just even more awesome. I feel like I want to hang this, but I don't know where. But yeah, it's pretty damn cool. So, and the funny thing is, I love IREM. They made this game. They make the R-Type series, which is probably my favorite shmup series of all. I like Raiden as well. But such a fan am I that I don't even know IREM is an acronym. Did you know that IREM stands for Innovations in Recreational Electronic Media? Me neither. I had no clue. I just thought they were called IREM. I never thought of where the name originated from. The more you know, right? Not done yet. Okay. Same store as... So yeah, we're done with all that. Basically the liquidator people. For now, I have actually some more stuff on order from them, including another metal storm. So anyways, thrift store find here, and for $2, I'm not going to keep this, but I thought it was pretty cool, and it's worth around $20–25. It is a Transformers G1 TV tray. Die-cast, right? Yeah, lost art. But same time I found this tray, I found red Fraggle, and I'm trying to, you know, cut down how many things like this I'm buying, but come on, it's Fraggle Rock, and I mean, I don't know if you went back and looked at it, if you never seen it as a kid, but I love this series. It's probably one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and Red Fraggle probably being my favorite Fraggle out of all of them. So, and she was $2 as well. Oh, wait, I wasn't done with all the stuff at the at the liquidators. So, you know, I tend to buy games, like I said, either at the store. I was trying to look for games that were worth something, or that I liked. You know, because basically if I bought the stuff, I didn't want to lose money. This game I felt I bought because I felt like it was going to go up in value. I saw like the price had been going up, and it's one of those unlicensed games, so I don't know, maybe it's just sporadic interest in it, but it seemed the trend was that it was going up, and for just cartridge copies. So, and I say that because when I asked the condition of everything, they said, oh, you know, this thing comes with its box and its mail, and I was like, holy shit. And the game is Taggin' Dragon, and yeah, it came with the mail, and this is the only mail I gotten that for one of those unlicensed games. This is a Color Dreams game, but they released it under this label called Bunch Games. I looked it up on Wikipedia. Very difficult. I think the furthest I've been able to get in it so far is maybe stage 7, but I've been playing a lot of the other games as well. So, in terms of skill, let me know, guys, if this is normal for the unlicensed Color Dreams games. It looks basically like it's photocopied. I mean, the pictures and everything. I mean, I'm betting it is, just because it looks kind of, these releases, I guess, were kind of under the radar. But nonetheless. Okay. Oh yeah, so last weekend there was a yard sale, and